I grew up, he's the same age as me. He was like, I love the 90s black movies.
Yeah.
But also, some of them gave a bad representation of us now that I'm older and looking back at it. And I said, what do you mean? What are you talking about? He was
Yeah.
like, what was the purpose of Juice? What was the purpose of Menace to Society? There's a lot of movies out there that show a bad representation for us. And it's not like there's nothing flattering on the other end.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I never thought about that. And I took it a step further. And I said, well, television portrayal for people who aren't around a diverse group of black people, because like you say all the time, we're not a monolith, right? Like black people are different, right?
Yes.
We are all in every socioeconomical category, every educational category or lack thereof,
Mm-hmm.
every working category. We are different. The
Yeah.
North is different from the South, which is different from the East to the West to the Midwest. Texas, Houston black people are different than Dallas black people. They are different than San
Mm-hmm.
Antonio black people. We are not the same. We are different.
Yeah.
So some of these movies and television shows gave representation of specific groups of black people in specific areas during specific times.
Mm-hmm.
But also, if you're not around a diverse group of black people and you're watching this media, especially during the 90s, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where
Mm-hmm.
we got our stereotypical generic representation of different groups of people from television and movies. You're going to think what you saw on the screen is how we all are. So in one sense, you might look at it, wow, South Central LA, it's crazy as hell. Boys in the hood, that's all they do is shoot and kill each other. And on another flip side, you might watch the Cosby Show and see, I don't know what black people were talking about. There are doctors and lawyers. It's not tough out here. There's no racism. And I was like, is the portrayal from 90s television and movies negative, positive, or both?
So what I'll say first is um stories, movies, television shows, these are stories that people wanted to tell.
Mhm.
Sometimes there's no bigger purpose or meaning behind them beyond this is a story that I wanted to tell. When you ask what was the purpose of Juice or Boys in the Hood, it was a story to tell. And I think they're incredibly important stories because Juice and movies like Menace to Society and Boys in the Hood give dimension and depth and humanity to people behind the stories that you're seeing on the news.
Mm, that was deep.
Yeah, I mean that's who I am. So
Message.
yeah, I mean, so it's just it's the same. It's the same as telling stories from Appalachia or from Peoria or wherever in the Midwest. It's the same as like watching Yellowstone. Is that a good representation of white ranchers? Like, I don't know. Is that a good representation of white people? I don't know. It's a story that they're
Mm,
telling, and the point, or a good story will give you some insight into that character
mm,
that maybe
mm.
you never thought about, right? Maybe you see somebody like Doughboy on the street.
Doughboys from Boys in the Hood, ladies and gentlemen. If you haven't watched
Yes,
that movie, it's actually kind of important. You should watch that movie.
you should. Play by Ice Cube. You might see a guy like Doughboy on the street and not know that behind that he's lost two siblings. He doesn't have I think he had another sibling, and then Ricky got killed too. I think
I
there
don't
was
remember
another.
that. I don't think there was another sibling. I just think it was him and Ricky. Yeah, it was just him and
Eh,
Ricky.
and then Ricky had I felt like there
Ricky
was
had a Ricky had a kid. But
Yeah, I
we
felt
getting
like
off in the
didn't
woods.
she have a line where she's like, "I can't lose another son," or something like that? Or maybe
Maybe,
she's
maybe.
talking
You
to
know
him.
what? I'm gonna watch Boys in the Hood this weekend.
Yeah, I might be wrong about that, but I know somebody in the comments, so,
Oh, yeah, they definitely
correct
will. They're
me.
gonna correct you.
Yeah.
They'll
Well, what
look
actually happened
right.
is
They'll look that
yeah.
up. They'll look that up, but they won't look up. You know they instituting the draft. Notice how I cut that
Yeah.
off? Instituting.
Yeah. So, but, it'll give you some insight into that character, how he became the way he became. We saw Doughboy from a child
Mhm.
grow into a man, the hopes he placed on his younger brother, his desire to have some sort of relationship with his mother that he really could never get because she just had so much pride in his brother that
Well,
like, you're
they had
getting
different daddies. So she
they had
hated
different he
she
hated his
hate
fa the complex that gives you as a child, like,
Mhm.
and growing into like, you're getting now to see it's giving humanity to Black life, whether it's, I hate to use the Cosbys, but whether you're seeing positive representations or seeing Black people in or affluent or they have, high paying or high powered jobs or things like that, or you're seeing us.
If you like that clip, go ahead and hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe to catch up on all of our latest content. Don't forget to hit the notifications button when you do subscribe so you can get updated every time we release content. We release content every day, whether it's an actual show or clips from the shows. So go ahead and subscribe, like, comment. Also, don't forget our Patreon page where you can find our Talking Straight-ish and After Hours Uncensored episodes. That's patreon.com/Unsolicited Perspectives. But once again, thank you again for listening to Unsolicited Perspectives. I'm your host, Bruce Anthony, and I'm going to catch you next time. I'll holla.